You need to listen with purpose and with heart and feel what the client is feeling.
Remember why we're doing what we're doing. We're not just answering phones, we're making lives better, and we're educating people on solutions.
Hi, everybody. I'm back with Steven, and this time we're going to talk about CSR best practices for exceptional customer service. So what is WOW customer service? What is exceptional customer service, Steven?
I think it's really taking the situation and tailoring it to the client, making sure they feel like more than just a number. Just like most of us don't want to be just an employee number at work, right? We like what we do. We want to be appreciated. And that means that we need to do the same for our clients. If somebody wanted an insurance robot as an agent, they could have one. There's great technology out there. There's 800 numbers, and they just get whoever in the pool answers the phone that day. But at many independent agencies, they have a dedicated team that's there to help and support them. And I think we need to remember to make it the best call of their day. And sometimes just answering the phone with, how can I make this the best call of your day? And a smile will remind us that's what we're here to do. We also need to remember that with a lot of clients, it's the first time they're talking about it. I talked about this before, but it's Groundhog Day, right? You've had the same conversation 12 times. It's the first time you're having it with that client. So we need to make sure that so we can impress our clients, we prep like a pro before our day begins, meaning take a look at our tasks, look at the things that are there, get in a few minutes early to get organized and review what is ahead of us. Some days we're going to have to hustle a little harder, and some days it looks like it's going to be a little slower, but it's probably still a lie. Things still pop up, and we have to be sharp and confident and be dedicated to making that magic happen. So, to be a great CSR, we need to set up our day for success.
Awesome. And one of the things that Kelly talks about a lot is the Nana principle when she talks about talking to customers and using words. Would your Nana understand those words? Well, the same thing is listen with purpose and heart. So if you treat every single customer like you were talking to your Nana, how would you treat them? Would you treat them differently? Would you answer differently? Would your questions and your answers have more empathy? Would they be more heartfelt? So even though you may struggle with a customer, you need to keep the mindset that you need to treat all the customers the same. You need to listen with purpose and with heart and feel what the client is feeling. If a client is calling you with claims, the first thing out of your mouth should be, oh my gosh, are you okay? Is everybody that was in the car okay? You need to have that concern like it was a family member. So treat your customers like their family.
And I love the open-ended question, right? Like, tell me more about what happened. That is super stressful. I'm here to help. Like, what's going on? We can't ask yes and no. It has to be open-ended.
And the more we let them talk, the better they'll feel. Because sometimes they just need to express it to get it out to feel better. Good point.
And sometimes we just need to simplify what's already complex. To the insured, it's a wild, wild world, right? They don't understand insurance like we should. And sometimes it gets overwhelming for them, and they add in 453 things that we never needed to know and have nothing to do with the solution. But to them, they're like, well, what about this and this and what about that? It's kind of like when I go to the doctor and I'm not feeling well, and I'm like, well, I had a fever, but then I had this, but then I had an itch on my elbow yesterday, and then it was this, and then my ear hurt, and I had this, but I just don't feel well overall, and I think I still have a fever. And they're like, okay, great, let's take your temperature. Do you have this? Do you have that? Great, let me listen to your lungs. It sounds like you have. Here's the solution, right? Clients come in hot and in a rage, and they got all kinds of things. Our job is to simplify it, break it back down into those tiny little pieces, clarify what they actually need, and then come back with the solution. And if I don't have it right now, it's okay for me to be like, hey, I'm going to look into this. But set an expectation of when we're getting back to them.
Yeah, the next one is stay steady when the heat's on. And this one reminds me of sparring, believe it or not. Most people know, but if you don't know, I'm a second-degree black belt, and I spar a lot, at least once a week. And what you know when you spar is if my intensity increases and I get really mean, And you can tell when that happens because I usually spar with my hands open, but when my hands start to close, my shoulders will start to roll forward. So when somebody feels that or sees that reaction, they're going to start tensing up and they're going to get more aggressive. So the more aggressive I am, the more aggressive they will be back. And the whole goal of being a higher level is that you stay steady, you stay calm, and you fight calmly because it gives you more control. You are in control of the situation. You can control your body. You can control your reaction. So we need to stay steady when the heat is on. We need to stay in control. We need to make sure that we are relaxed and keep our shoulders back. Make sure we're not bowling up our fists when we're on the phone with a client. And smile is huge. I can actually talk and smile when I'm sparring. It will keep me calm. And people think it's really funny. And I'm like, you don't want me quiet when I'm sparring. If I start to get quiet when I'm sparring, that means you're in trouble. So not meaning on the phone you should talk a lot. You should actually let the customer talk and you should listen. But you do need to make sure that your reactions are calm, that they're not really reactions, they're responses. That you're calm, you're collected. Remember, if you show anger, the customer is going to be even more angry back. So keep that smile on your face, keep your shoulders back, make sure you breathe, and you talk to the customer calmly.
And our reoccurring theme, because we need to remember we are all part of a team, is lean on our team, tap into their wisdom. If we get something tricky, ask somebody for their opinion, right? It may be very different than what you would have thought, and you might not agree with it either, but it helps us see a different perspective. Everybody has a different background, everybody has different wisdom, and we all look at situations differently. So we need to remember it's okay to lean on our team and also okay to share our own successes with the team too. Like, oh my goodness, I had that come up. Here's what I did. Or here's what I did, but I could have done this differently, right? Those little tips and tricks are what really make us better in service and lead to the best CSRs that builds a great way for everybody to lean on each other. And then we know we have a support system in place.
Yeah. And we all know we have to take CE courses to keep our insurance licenses, but is just the CE courses enough for me to stay up to date with the ever-changing world of insurance, Stephen?
I feel like there's times I take CE classes that are from like 1987 when I was in elementary school.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, this again? But no, Therese, to answer your question, it's not, right? If we want to refine our skills, if we want to stay sharp, if we want to be great at what we do, because insurance is our career, it's not just a job, we need to learn from a variety of places. I will shout from the rooftop. I read a lot of insurance magazines, and that doesn't mean cover to cover. Like, I will literally go through it. I'm like, ooh, I like the legal case section, or I like Ask So and so. There'll be bits and pieces I pull out. And then I also look at Facebook. I join different groups. I look for education anywhere I can find it. And I also try to find ways to relate other industries to insurance. And I think it's just part of little bits and pieces as you go a long way. And if we just stay on the education train, it's going to help us become the best we can be.
Shameless plug, we have an agency school that is amazing. Go to agencyperformancepartners.com, agency school. It is incredible. The content, the curriculum, there is a how to explain and sell top coverage in there that has all of the coverages, personal lines, commercial lines, explains how to talk to a customer, how to explain it, what to say if they have objections. It's a great place to go to see those coverages, and you may already know them, but looking through it, you might learn something new or a new way to talk to a customer. So there's always different ways to learn. So look for those. Find the ones that work best for you. Podcast. We have podcasts. We have blogs, so you can read it, you can listen to it, and you can go on the school and take courses and do quizzes. So check that out. The next one is follow up and showing you that you care. So one of the things we did in one of the agencies I did is if somebody had a claim and we hadn't heard from them, we would do outbound calls to make sure that they were not injured in the claim and to follow up to make sure that they're, that they didn't have any questions, that everything in the claim process went well. So it's important to follow up and show a customer that you really care about them.
Yes. And even just a quick follow-up can go a long way. It's what the clients remember how they make you feel. How they make you feel. Clients remember how you make them feel at the end of the day, right? So we need to keep that at top of mind. And at the end of the day, we need to just reflect on what we've done. Did we clarify something that was confusing? That could be a win. Did we help somebody and take their worry away? That could be a win. Even little things can go a long way. And we just have to remember to look for the positive and remember why we're doing what we're doing. We're not just answering phones, we're making lives better and we're educating people on solutions. So, with that, we need to take a moment and reflect and celebrate.
Well, and we also want to talk to those seasoned insurance agents and CSRs that are out there because while customer service, the program we have, people are like, oh, I've been doing customer service for 20 years. But sometimes it gets stale. Sometimes the way you do it gets old. And I hate to, I'm not saying what you're doing is bad and you're old. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the process, the procedure, sometimes when it's repetitive, it gets old. So it might be a good time to go in and check out that course and get a refresher on customer service. There might be something in there that you didn't know about. Eat the frog processes, the different processes that we have that might be exciting to you and change the way you do customer service and make it a little better. So sometimes the little details and the little things that you learn can make your days better, make you enjoy your job as a customer service representative or your career, because that's what it should be. If it's a career, you want to enjoy it. You don't want to be that bitter CSR that's been there for 50 years. You want to make it exciting. So continue to learn, continue to grow, look for ways to get out there and learn new things. So thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Check us out at agencyperformancepartners.com. Thanks so much, Stephen. Everybody have a great day.
Bye.